How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. We're coming at you with another top 10 figures video. Of course, it's 2022, so it's top 10 of 2022. We got a lot of new figures this year, a lot of new pinless figures, which you know I have a huge preference for. That's where I want my collection to go in the future. That whole Indiana Jones line coming out is pinless and 6-inch. I'm super excited about that for next year. But for now, we're going to take a look at a bunch of figures that I got this year that are my favorites, and we're going to pick and choose ones that are like, oh, you're great, but you're not good enough to be in the top 10. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to have a little commentary. We're going to do a little two-camera kind of thing. I'm working out some new stuff for the new year. So yeah, this will be an experimental video. So with all of that being said, let's take a closer look at the figures that are going to be top 10 for 2022. Hi, Oreo. So as you can see, we have a bunch of figures in front of us right now. We've got Moon Knight, we've got a bunch of different Spider-Man because 2022 was the 60th anniversary and Hasbro threw a bunch of Spider-Man our way. So you can see we've got quite a few in there, including for me, the GOAT right now, probably my number one, the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, although I do think he is a bit too tall, but gosh, he's just such a great looking figure. Just look at him standing there. What a great figure. But yeah, 2022 was really a great year for collecting. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through all these figures in front of us and we're going to like one by one pick them out, and I'm going to talk about them and like, this figure's great and say why it's great and why I love it, but we're going to be like, but it's got to go because there's other figures that are better. So that's really the basis of this video. We're going to go more in depth than we did last year because I do watch a lot of channels and I do get influences. So shout out to Toy Galaxy and Toy Galaxy 2 where he does his top 10, but this is kind of how he does a little bit. But I really want to talk about the characters and the figures. So starting out, we are gonna, it's gonna be hard to eliminate figures. All right, so let's start with Star Wars. I really like the Dark Trooper. He's a really cool figure, but I feel like he should be a little bit bigger. Like, he's imposing, he's cool. He's got soft plastic so he can get down with posing and stuff. But I feel like he should just be a lot bigger. So we're going to take him off. And that means we're one down. I do like the Dark Trooper a lot, though. It was cool to see them take Legends continuity and kind of adapt it. And The Mandalorian did such a good job with most of that stuff. I know a lot of it is original, but there's some Legend ideas in there as well, like the Dark Troopers. So yeah, these are cool figures. And it's not to say that he's a bad figure. He's just not as good as all the other figures that are in front of us right now. All right, so you can see there's like not a lot of variety here. We've got mostly Hasbro, but we do have Star Wars, we do have Marvel, we do have Power Rangers, but we do have McFarlane as well. And I love Green Arrow as a character. As you know, this is all spur of the moment. I'm looking around and I'm like, ooh, which one can go next? I love Green Arrow as a character. He's like my second favorite DC character as far as male superheroes go. But, you know, this one has some small problems. Like, he does have the hat and all that, but look at his bare shoulders. It's so strange that they didn't glue them, like, on the shoulder pad, and I don't want to take the time to get it off. But I love Ollie. I love Oliver Queen. This is obviously still a great figure. It was up here with all these other awesome figures. But there's just small things that bother me, and I was just looking at him, and I'm like, ugh. He's going to go next. So, bye, Ollie. Love you, though. And he really is a cool figure. He's from the Injustice, the McFarlane Page Punchers DC Direct, because they have all the DC labels now for their toy lines. But I'd say the only thing he's missing is like a single arrow to be holding as far as accessories go, because he's got his unpainted arrows there. But a lot of detail on this figure, as McFarlane does, missing some paint apps, but it's still a great figure. As you can see, I shifted Spidey a little bit because there's someone behind him who I want to grab. And it's no slight against a Pink Ranger because I love Pink Rangers, but really just needed Zeo Pink to complete a team. And you can see that there's mismatching plastic, as Hasbro has done with the Lightning Collection. The chest is a different shade of pink than the rest of the body, and it's unfortunate. But she completed the Zeo team that I had been waiting to finish for a long time, so it's great to get Zeo 2 pink. But top 10? No, girl, not today. But one of her accessories is still in the top 10 because she did come with that white cat, and I'm grouping all the animals together as one figure. So they're probably all going to stay in the top 10 because I really like those animals that Hasbro's been giving us. Gosh, we have like 3 different Spider-Man up there. And like I said, Renew Your Vows is probably my GOAT, probably greatest of all time, because Spider-Man is my absolute favorite character from comic books. But the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man is no slouch, but it's the best thing about it is its height. It's the perfect height for Spider-Man, but I would like the height with the bulk and the colors and all that. So we're going to get rid of the Amazing Fantasy, even though he's a great Spider-Man. He comes with great accessories, a holding hand, which is awesome, the web wings, which I actually like. As far as for posing and photography goes, like, they're not perfect because they pop out pretty easily, but you know me, I love Spider-Man. It's not like Spider-Man's out of the running. It's just this one is, of course. And I also had some minor paint app mishaps that I forgot to point out in my original video, like that. Some on the hands. I don't know if it's on this hand or not, but there's some paint apps that are kind of iffy on there, not like on the face or on the chest or anything. Those are all clean, but you know, I have OCD. I like perfection. So, sorry, Spider-Man, you're gonna take another hit, because as much as I love the civilian Peter Parker Ned 2-pack, because I got that extra head for my my MCU shelf, Petey, you're not cutting it this time, because you're just a regular old guy among all these awesome characters. It's not to say it's a bad figure at all, but yeah, you guys get my point. He is great. He's awesome for photography. It's great to have MJ, Peter, and Ned. So yeah, I do have a video coming with the Zendaya, MJ, and Homecoming Spider-Man 2-pack eventually. So yeah, it's just in my finished videos. So you guys can take a look at that when I upload it, probably pretty soon, maybe before this video comes out. I'm hoping to release this in like the end of December, but yeah, this is December 1st today, so we'll see how that goes with upload schedule. But yeah, we're gonna get rid of old Petey here with his doofy grin, because he's just a regular old guy. I love Tom Holland. So I gotta get rid of 6 more out of this awesome lineup, and once I get rid of the 6, I'm gonna go down the 10 and talk about why I like them so much. We'll pose them up and we'll make them look all cool so we can get some awesome photography and all that stuff. But 6 more figures gotta go. Gosh, I love all these guys so much. But just going off a gut, we're gonna get rid of our Wild Force Silver Ranger. I do love Wild Force. It has a special place in my heart, but we do have the Phantom Ranger up there, and he's just so sick looking. So Lunar Wolf, Wild Force Ranger, no slouch, but we're gonna knock him off the top 10 because we don't even have the whole team yet. So that's definitely deduction points. But Blue is coming out. It's actually, Amazon is trying to give it to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to save money right now, so let's hold off on the pre-orders coming early, Amazon. But yeah, we'll get this whole team eventually. I know there was controversy with the Red Ranger, but I'm glad that Hasbro is like, well, we're still going to make these lines because people love them. And Wild Force has a special place in my heart. I did watch Wild Force growing up. All right. So who is on the chopping block next? Oof, that's tough. You know what? It's between Constantine and Martian Manhunter, but we're going to go with Constantine, because Martian Manhunter looks so good in that classic. Not that John Constantine doesn't. The Page Punchers line is really cool, but like, that really annoys me. It actually kind of stuck there for a second, but as you can see, the stand came off. There's some looseness to McFarlane that they need to work on. Like, they don't hold their accessories properly if they come with accessories. And the stands tend to stretch out the pegs in their feet, or the holes in their feet, which means that the stands come off. So we're going to take Johnny Constantine. This one's tough. It's starting to get tough, guys. You know what? We're going to get rid of Spirit, because G.I. Joe Classified is pretty covered with Storm Shadow. He's pretty dope. It's not to say that Spirit is a slouch, but Freedom is still in the running. That's his eagle's name. I couldn't for the life of me remember it in the video, but Spirit is an awesome figure. He's got awesome accessories. He comes with Freedom, that eagle. But, you know, Storm Shadow is also awesome. He's like a super dope figure, so it's hard to compete with that if we're going for Classified. I'd like to get representation in there, at least one from every line, and collect if I got something that year. Like NECA I really slept on that this year. I think I got one NECA figure, 2 maybe, but none of them are in the top ones, you know. Gonna try to get away from those because they're getting more and more expensive. So is everything. And before you guys say anything, yes, I did add She-Hulk because I forgot to put her in there initially, and I was out there doing something that and I was like, oh, She-Hulk's still there, I meant to grab her. So yeah, she's in there. So don't be like, oh, where did she come from? It's because I forgot. Since we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, we're gonna start getting out some good figures, because No, I have to have. We're gonna get rid of Fennec Shand. She was kept popping into my head. So I love this figure. I love this character as well. Ming-Na Wen is great. Mulan. But I also really love Ahsoka, and we've got that Rosario Dawson Mandalorian Ahsoka, which is already being re-released in a 3-pack, quote unquote, with Mando and Grogu. But we've also got Boba Fett up there, and he's a great figure as well. So Fennec, I'm sorry, but you get the boot. All right, I guess we're gonna have to go after more Spider-Man figures because Iron Spider, I love you. You're a super cool figure, but we have the Renew Your Vows. He's also pinless. He's super shiny. Yeah, there's some different colored limb problems, but still a great figure. I still love picking him up and messing around with him because it's a super cool look for Spider-Man. The Waldos, as they're called, are super cool. They're not as articulated as I would like, but that's Hasbro for you. But at least we got this figure, and at least he's pinless and he looks cool. So sorry, Spidey, but we've already got Spidey. Wow, we've only got 12 figures left, and it's mostly Marvel Legends, so I guess we're gonna have to get rid of 2 more Marvel Legends and we'll have a top 10. Shoot, this is hard. You know, that Black Panther just came out, and it's really cool to have a pinless Black Panther. But that Silk is really cool. Like, it's reuse. They're both reuse. And then we get awesome brand new sculpts like Moon Knight from the MCU and She-Hulk from the MCU, and I Renew Your Vows. And we've got that new King in Black Venom. It's just, it's really rough. So for the sake of having at least some variety in here, we're gonna have to get rid of Silk and Black Panther. Kind of bummed about that because, as you can see, she can stand on 1 foot. That's a really cool display piece, and she looks great with the paint, and the face sculpt on her is really nice. Like, Hasbro did such a good job with her face. It's super pretty. I love it. And then, of course, this Black Panther's awesome. You can see I put the retro necklace on there to be more comic accurate. But yeah, he's also a super awesome figure. He is reused, but they do have new boots and gloves. But like I said, for the sake of variety, because it's pretty Marvel Legends heavy this year, because I've kind of shifted to mostly Marvel Legends. Even though my Marvel Legends collection is the biggest, there's still a bunch of gaps because Marvel is such a huge, huge universe. But yeah, let me rearrange my top 10 figures. We'll get them all posed up, and I'll talk about them and all that. So to be fair to myself, I think my top 10 is more balanced than I initially gave myself credit for. Like, we've got like only 2 MCU figures, only 2 Star Wars figures, only 2 comic Marvel Legends, only 2 G.I. Joe, quote unquote, with the Fiona and Storm Shadow, and then we've got 1 Power Rangers. So really, it's a good representation of my channel and what I collect. So yeah, we're gonna go over my top 10. We'll take a close look at them and all that stuff. All right, so here's my top 10. You know, we picked through all of them together. I gave my reasoning as to why the other ones weren't gonna cut it, and these are the ones that cut it. Of course, we have our Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, the GOAT. We have our Black Series Ahsoka because she's pinless. She's awesome. She was re-released in that 2-pack already, so you know she's a banger figure. And then, of course, number 3, we have our Storm Shadow from Classified Series because he's a cool figure. And one of my commenters / viewers pointed out that he also has forearm swivel. So that's another point of articulation that Storm Shadow has that most of these figures don't have. Then, of course, we have our animals in the middle there. Can't forget about them. And number 5, gosh, it's so hard to pick between these two because they're both Spider-Man, Moon Knight, She-Hulk. Those are my 3 favorite characters. And, like, it's interchangeable except for Spider-Man. He's always number 1. But gosh, for number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Moon Knight. So that makes number 6, She-Hulk. So those guys are really close together. And number 7, going back, we have Boba Fett from our Black Series. Number 8, of course. Number 8 is our Phantom Ranger, which makes our number 9 Venom because he was re-released. He just got those wings and the extra comic book paint and heads. And then, of course, 10 for our McFarlane representation, the classic Martian Manhunter, who I do love a lot. It's just there's a lot of McFarlane figures that were really good this year, but like top 10 material, they were not. It's just like classic characters in their like classic outfits, like quote unquote Wonder Woman, which we still don't have, Todd. So you're lucky to even be in my top 10 because I want freaking Wonder Woman. And when she comes out, she'll probably be in my top, you know, 1 or 2 next year because Wonder Woman is awesome and you still haven't made a classic version, Todd. But yeah, so there's my top 10, y'all. Oh, and I forgot to say that my rules are basically the same as last year. If it was released and I purchased it this year, it is up for grabs to be in my top 10. Of course, if I think it's worthy of my top 10. So yeah, released in 2022 and purchased in 2022. Like if it was released this year and I got it next year, I can't use it because it came out last year. That being said, if anything comes out this year that's not in this video, it is up for grabs for next year's video. So just laying the ground rules so y'all don't be like, well, you said this came out this year. And well, I'm going by when it was released and when I bought it. So if it was released and I bought it and it's not up there and it was super great, well, sorry, I missed. We all knew that Renew Your Vows Spider-Man was going to come out on top. Come on, it's me we're talking about. Spider-Man is my absolute favorite. That Storm Shadow is really good, but you know, Ahsoka, she's my favorite Star Wars character, so of course she's going to be number 2, and then Storm Shadow number 3. Number 4 was our animals because they're super awesome. We got, you know, Fiona from G.I. Joe. We've got Freedom from G.I. Joe. We got the White Cat from the Zeo and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2-pack. We got the Black Cat from our Black Cat retro card that also came out this year, I believe, like maybe early in January, but just her cat got in the video. And then, of course, we've got our Ravens from that Thor, that Pinless Thor, which also didn't make the cut for my top 10 video, but, you know, it is what it is. We did get Marvel Legends in there. And then, you know, going back, we have Boba Fett, who is a super cool, always a cool figure. I was happy to get him for my Mandalorian shelf. Of course, we got the Phantom Ranger, super cool figure. I knew he was going to be in my top 10 because he's interchangeable. You could use him anywhere, really, if you wanted to. And then, of course, we have Venom from the King and Black 2-pack. I am still waiting to get that 3-pack from Amazon to complete my Life Foundation. Of course, I'll get a video up on that when I find it or when I get it. And then, of course, lastly, like I said, with my little classic versions of DC characters, Todd rant, Martian Manhunter. So yeah, that's my top 10 for the year. If you guys like this video, smash like, of course, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed so you can come back every week for my awesome content. I appreciate it so much and I love you guys. And of course, comment down below what's your favorite figures this year, what your favorite of the ones I picked is. If you agree with my list, if you disagree with my list, if you absolutely hate my list, just let me know how your day is going. Whatever you want to do, comment down below. As always, I love you guys. I will see you next time and bye-bye.